Techno Hollywood.
Techno Hollywood 14.
Is it 14? Yes, 14. Welcome back.
Lucky number 14?
Lucky number 14. I feel like number 13 was just a few days ago, and I guess it was.
It was, because we're on an up-to-date weekly schedule now.
Yeah, it's awesome, kind of dangerous, because what if we miss one time? Someone's sick, then we're screwed.
Yeah, we're cutting it close. We were so far ahead of the game before, and now it's like,
Now it's current. It's recent. Everything's new. I
got some stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Because did I tell last time I came back to Berlin, right, after Ibiza? And then we
Let's start with this.
Switzerland.
Look, I saw you noticed. It's a turtle.
It's a turtle. That's really fun.
Because I snuck in the I like turtles into the. You actually watched it.
I actually watched it, but I only watched the beginning, and then I wanted to edit some other stuff, which I will still do for the captions, I guess, right after this, because I feel like you did some good ones, but I think just to edit for the details, I think that makes sense. Anyways,
do you know where that comes from? Do you know where that comes from? That was my fake job. I'd be like, hey, like, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm a turtle farmer.
Yeah, I thought you were like an umbrella a trampoline salesman. That's what you said.
That was
a lot
after
of times
turtle
too.
farmer got old, so I did trampoline salesman. Yeah,
trampoline salesman is actually a little bit more dynamic, I guess, because it implies
Literally.
more fun and more jumping. Like, I don't think it can get more boring than a turtle farmer, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I met my wife, so it must work.
I guess. Yeah. So, where were we? Yeah, last time I was back to Berlin, I just wanted this small funny story. I keep forgetting, like, in other clubs, people want like everyone to take pictures and promote and everything. And Berlin is so different. Like, the first thing we got there, like, they take stickers and the bouncers, and then they sort of put like big stickers on your telephone, on both cameras, the front camera and the back camera. And they're like, hey, you're not supposed to take it off. If we catch you taking videos or pictures, you're going to get not executed, but you're going to get thrown out. And funny enough, people really abide to it. It's that mental. I mean, technically, you can just take the sticker off, take a little video, a sneaky one, and put the sticker back on. But because no one's doing it, and everyone's in the moment having fun, and it's actually better. It's a better party because people don't. You can still communicate on WhatsApp or like send text message, hey, I'm here, where are you, and whatever, or call people. But you can't just stand there and watch everything through a phone, And I think that that's really good. You can really get lost in the moment. And it was one of the better parties. It was a Sunday, 8 p.m. was a birthday of a friend. And we had so much fun because it was like everyone was just dancing,
phones.
and exactly, had nothing else to do but to enjoy the moment and have fun like it used to be, And no one took pictures and no one took videos, and the moment will always. And also for the DJ was more fun because he had like actual people looking at him and not looking at the phone, or looking at him through a phone.
Through the phone, yeah.
Yeah, so that was really like, I missed it almost, then I forgot about it because you're so used to everything on a phone, and it was such a magic moment.
Do you think it's just because it's like Germany's compliant?
No, I think it's because people really want to be. It's like a really strict door, first of all.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Berghain, it was another club called Else. Yeah? And it's a pretty strict door. So once you're in and you're sort of happy that you got in, you comply to the rules because you don't want to get kicked out again, and all your friends are there, And then you're like, after 10 minutes, you get used to it. You don't really think about your phone anymore. You don't think about like, hey, I need to capture this moment. No, you just enjoy the moment. Yeah?
You're just live tweeting. You're like, hey, Tan is on the dance floor. #dancing.
That's it. Now his right arm is up, his left arm is moving his hips. Come on, what's going on?
Yeah, you're missing out. You should have been there.
Yeah, so there was a good moment, I thought. Like, and then before that, I just thought this was a aha moment. A friend of mine told this funny story. I think I want to share it. It's basically his friend is like a Syrian guy, but a very German Syrian compliant guy. But he has like a Arabic name, obviously, and he works in the film business, right? So what he did, like, he's a location scout, and it was sort of cold. It was a story in the winter, and he was driving around Berlin, and there's like a big publishing house that he like that has some controversy. It's like, let's say it's like a Fox News or something, like a German equivalent of Fox or something. And he was in front of the building just scouting because it's a big building and taking pictures. And then because it was so cold and his fingers were sort of stuck and he had to go outside. Inside he had no gloves in. He was really mad at something, and he was started being mad and shouting Arabic stuff, like probably bad stuff, like damn, this all shit, this all sucks. Into like while he was location scouting with a camera in front of the building, right?
It sounds like a good idea.
yeah, exactly. Now, like we're talking 2 hours later, he's at home. There's no knock, nothing. Boom! They crash in the door at his place.
Like they blow open the door.
And blow open the door, like freeze, get onto the ground, the full-on thing, like the full-on CIA, FBI, whatever Germany called, like this, like a special squad.
Stasi?
And they really thought, they really thought he's like a terrorist or something because he was shouting Arabic bad words in front of the thing, and it was caught on camera. And
he has a camera.
And he has a camera. So basically, they really think it's an attack, and of course they have the license plate of the car, I guess, and something, and they traced him back really quickly. And boom, and it was obviously they was arrested, and he got let go again because he's just a normal reporter in a way. It has nothing to do with but it was like, it shows you how sometimes how effective these things are. Like, it's not a good idea to shout anything, I guess, and be mad in front of, it wasn't even a government building, it was like a newspaper building that does like big, more sort of right-wing news in a way.
Yeah, I think if you did the same thing in Fox News in New York, something would happen.
I know, something would happen. I just thought like, wow.
You know what? The whole world's a camera now. So
I know.
You got to behave.
That's why in Monaco, it's probably the safest city on the planet because every street is monitored. And
I thought every city now is monitored.
Yeah, but this one, we're talking every street, everything. Like you can, they know so much dirt on people that sort of navigate through the night and do this and or probably cheat on their wives or whatever because they see it all on camera. And nothing, like, you can't hide popcorn? In Monaco.
They're like, oh, this is good.
It's
a good job at the Monaco security.
I know, it's like, it's Wednesday, 6 p.m. He's going to visit this girl again. So I thought that was crazy here. Anyway, but last time we didn't get to talk about the comedy bunker because you had a comedy bunker in between, right?
Yeah, and then
like 2 weeks ago, something.
We had a visit from the Germans. It was good. Eddie Mex.
Okay. Eddie in der Bitzen. No, he's actually not German. He's Swiss Mexican. How cool is that?
Oh, that's Eddie. That's why he has Mex. Eddie Mex. But he speaks German. So he's part of the German crew.
He speaks. Yeah, he speaks Swiss. German. He speaks Swiss German, and he speaks Spanish. It's crazy, and English and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up with his camera and he took some great photos of the Comedy Bunker. So they're on that Comedy Bunker live page. Yeah, he was nice. He's a very good photographer.
Yeah. So he offered to sort of take pictures, and you got him on the list, and his crew. And so, did the other Germans come too? No,
just him and his girl, and then
okay, nice.
A girl.
A girl, yeah.
I think it was his girl.
Yeah, no, that's his girlfriend there.
Yeah, and then so he took really good photos. That was nice. It's nice to have those photos of the event because it's something to post. It's
Yeah. But you take videos still, right, of the event?
Yeah, I take videos in case you got a clip and caption, like something from the show, which we all have to do now as part of being a comedian. But yeah, I stopped having a photographer because I was like, stills on Instagram stopped really generating awareness. But since we got them and they're nice photos, I think people appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's like something that
and you
happens.
Can use them.
I want to go back to just stills. Like, there's too much video.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's going to be... no one's focusing on stills. Everything's video and audio, video, moving pictures now. And it's so short. Maybe there's a trend back to great... I mean, with the AI thing, with the Midjourney, this was all photography. And people were blown away by crazy creative photography or like prompted photography or AI photography. So I guess there's a...
Someone will do it. They'll be like, hey, this is Instagram. And they'll release a new app called Gram
the original.
2. OG Gram.
The Gram too. OG Gram.
They call it the Gram. That'd be fun. That's a lawsuit waiting.
The Gram 0.5. Not even before.
Betagram.
Yeah. Betagram. There you go.
Oh, I think we just became trillionaires.
Yeah, and before it was like before filters even. Like just pictures, not even a filter. Like or like
Datagram.
one filter you can choose.
One
You
filter?
can choose from. Yeah.
And then
One filter is
we'll
good.
have, but then we'll go back to the square one. Then we'll have to add another filter. Then we'll have to add engagement. Then we'll have to add video.
Yeah.
We'll be back where we
And
started.
links.
Links.
I know, I remember this. Yeah,
Even
but how was
Twitter.
it, the Comedy Bunker?
It was good. It was a little light turnout. We broke our streak of sold out shows, which is kind of disheartening. But the whole
Why?
town
Because you
is
didn't
light.
promote
Like,
it enough?
I don't know. But
Okay,
the
wow.
show after us, they canceled totally. They just said the 9:30. There's not even enough people to have the show, so they got rid of the 9:30
What?
show. Yeah. So we did
In
good
the main
enough
room, we're talking.
No, in the lab, the small room.
In the
So
small one,
we're
okay,
at 7:30 on the first Thursday,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's another show on the 9:30, and they just straight canceled that one. So I've noticed it at
Yeah, but what if people bought tickets? You can
get
just cancel it,
refunded.
I guess, to get them
just
refunded.
get your
I
money
guess.
back.
Okay.
I mean, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
hope
sure
so
they
too.
do. Yeah.
So you feel
Usually
like
if
it
you
was a little
cancel-
light, or people
Yeah, it
don't
was
have
light.
right now, like, and the city feels a little lighter too. Like everyone's sort of. I mean, is it because of the weather, you think, or the vibe, or like?
I think it's like that in between
right
zone of like it's after
Yeah.
Coachella, before the summer, so people are kind of like
Yeah.
getting their mind
Saving
right
for the summer, maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
saving for the summer. Last bit
Yeah, I
of school,
see.
if you're in college, or maybe
Yeah,
college is out.
Like-
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Okay, but
Overall, it was a
who
good
had
show.
you-
The crowd was really good.
Who did you have on? Like,
It was a Canadian
Someone
heavy
I knew?
lineup.
No.
We had Deborah DiGiovanni. We had Graham K. We had me. All around, it was killer. Everyone liked the show.
and is it basically all more newcomers, right? Like
No,
like how would you define in the comedy world? Is it also measured like musicians like on the Instagram follows and the like how many people they draw? I guess like what's
I
the
guess
metrics?
it's like usually metric is like what size venues you play. Like, are you a theater
okay.
comedian? Are you a club comedian? Are you arena? Arena is like the biggest. Like, can you sell it?
Of course,
you know?
Yeah, so it
that's-
is like musicians or DJs, I guess.
Yeah, so
Similar,
that's the
yeah.
ultimate metric. And these are all like comedians that have been on Comedy Central and like have stuff out there. They're probably all just below. They're probably all club comedians who could headline a club, but not quite at the theater level.
And how many? I mean, I was wondering this recently. Like we talk about numbers. Like I don't know how many DJs are there on the planet that are trying to make it, type of thing. I'm just wondering how many comedians. Maybe a million. I don't know. Like how many comedians are there? Also the same, because you probably need even less of equipment. You just need yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
But do you have an estimate? But is it all?
I have no idea. There's a lot.
No idea, right?
There's a lot. There's more.
Like in a city like LA, like let's do the math real quick. Like there's 3-4 big clubs, and they play, and how you would say there was maybe 10, 15 really big guys, obviously 20, maybe 20, 30, and there's maybe a couple hundred medium level. Like I would say like a Morgan J or whatever. Like he just posted this. I don't know if you saw it. Like his special got rejected by all the big names.
That was such a good post.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then basically there's the C level, I guess, like below it. And that's, I guess, thousands or 10,000s.
Well, let's just say he got rejected, but he's releasing it on YouTube. So, and we love Morgan J. And I texted him, like, you're the whole reason the Comedy Bunker exists. Like, this, you're doing it the right way. Like, forget it. And now he owns it.
It's
so
Andrew Schulz got rejected by everyone, and he did it on YouTube. And look at him now, like he's doing it on
so
his
did
own
Mark
terms.
Norman, so did Sam Morril. So a lot of the great comedians, just go to YouTube.
The Beatles got rejected, the
Beatles,
it's nothing new.
You just got it's DIY. They're looking at different metrics, but I was looking at the comedy lineups, and a lot of the shows, they're still like. I was shocked. Like some of them are like still the same people from like 4 or 5 years ago. Like it's almost like the same lineups exist. So either there's a lack of new comedians like going the traditional route, like through the clubs and doing spots, or it's just that the legacy comedians who are more established are getting the spots. Maybe a combination of both. But it is interesting, and because all the young kids are doing it through. Like they're just being funny on YouTube, and then they'll figure out it's almost like they figure out the stand-up part after.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so there's a whole different scene. I'm sure a lot of bookers or buyers are not aware of on YouTube, like subcultures, but with people who reach a lot of people and would probably could draw in a crowd, but they're doing it all online for starters, and then they go sort of in the real world in offline, right? I guess.
Yeah, the thing about that though is that it's a little different from music, where it's like you can sell the room. You're the room and the artist is not like tied. It's almost like if you book a comedian, you're kind of like in a way saying this comedian is good. And so like it can if the comedian's not ready to be a good comedian, but they still have the draw, that can kind of tarnish the club, because a lot of people just go see comedy. Like, let's go see this show. And if the comedians aren't good enough, but they have a draw, they'll be like, what is this?
Yeah. Okay. So then, basically, like it's a thin walk for the talent, for the booker to get the right person in.
To
also
and
like have
money
the name
talks
of the
too. A lot.
comedian.
It's like if you can sell the room, they gotta put butts in seats too. So it's a whole.
Of course.
It's a dance.
Yeah,
doing.
It's interesting. It's so similar to the whole club DJ world, of course.
I'm sure there's like DJs that you're like, that guy's or girl, a person is not good, but they're like, oh, they have a following for whatever reason, so they get to play the room.
Yeah, exactly. Or sometimes like they have almost like a fake Instagram following, and then the promoter thinks, oh, they're big, they booked them, and then no one shows up too. These things happen too, so then everyone's disappointed. So you got to also back it up and bring people. That's why but sometimes people are just doing people favors, like, and then you get a start there, and then you actually learn how to do it on stage, and then you get better. You still need some sort of break, obviously, to get in and then get better at some point.
You need stage time.
Yeah, stage time, yeah. And it's like basically also a comedian on YouTube, like what can he do? Like he can perform in front of his friends, but he doesn't have a live audience. I think live audience is still the most important.
Oh no,
right?
like I don't think people are doing comedy on YouTube. They're just doing like funny videos, like and showing
they're just big on YouTube.
So they're big on YouTube, but not necessarily through stand-up. But like that's like the most legit, and maybe not legitimate, but most like realistic way to make it now.
Yeah, but what's better than if
YouTube?
I guess imagine like you have like, let's say you have 1 million views on YouTube, you make a couple grand there, and you put one video out every week. You make more money than being on the circuit in the comedies place, because you just get a couple $100 if you start.
Yeah, and it's perpetual. Yeah. It keeps earning you money all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, and you keep
your following grows. I mean, there's some comedians who do it really good, like Trevor Wallace. Yeah. Like he really defined the game of making funny videos, and it's great that he's also a good comic. So it's like a double edge.
Okay, see. So did you see this video? There was a big video. I mean, I follow this guy pretty constantly, Rick Beato, the music critic, I would say, and he had a big one called the AI effect. And he said like predictions, about AI again, because it's still, of course, in everyone's mouth so far. Yeah. And he said like, really, I don't know, like he put it quite hard, I thought, but I thought like maybe he's right. I mean, he said like it's really a Napster moment, he called it, for the music industry. And we talked about this briefly, but like Napster moment being like, this really changed the course of the music business and of everything, because Napster arrived and the music industry didn't get it. But all of a sudden, of course, people could exchange files. Everything was an MP3. By the way, MP3 is a German invention from the Fraunhofer Institute, in case you didn't know. Like, so they also messed it up a lot. Seriously, the format MP3 was done by a German lab,
Yeah, because you used to have to pay something stupid like $1,000 with Pro Tools just to get the license to export the codec.
I know. So now MP3 basically was like the revolution because of the MP3. The Napster moment happened. And
do they make any money? Like, because they own the tech?
I don't know. Like, I don't think they licensed it out for the world, I guess. I don't know, because it was like a non-profit thing, I feel. I don't know. I'm sure they didn't make money on every MP3 ever done, because otherwise this company
they probably
would be
have
the richest company.
But any software that makes the encoding, they probably have to pay for that technology.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm sure that's how they make money. Yeah. So basically, he said it's like I mean, obviously, there's now things that people like you can generate instruments, obviously, already, like in the last years, and you didn't need to have like like an amplifier and a whole mic to say you can have like simulations in like you had all these little amp simulations, and it's all digital in the production anyways, right? I mean, technically all the production in electronic music, it's all like basically it's not real anymore. It's like you don't have the old school synth. So he compared it to that and said like, so people are definitely used to the producers and the people out there to not care if the synth is a real analog synth or if it's a digital simulation, as long as it sounds good in a way.
Yeah.
So basically, and the vocals were really the last hardest part to sort of crack the code on, because I remember, they can't do vocals right, or like guitar was even a while it was really hard.
Because you can't do a multi-chord instrument or a multiphonic, whatever. Polyphonic.
Polyphonic multi-timbal instrument, I guess. But this is all solved now with the new AI, and he says like basically. This is something which people at some point will not care about. That's what he said. Like if the song's generated in AI, as long as it's good, as we talked about, like Diplo wrote under this AI song, like, hey, there's a good song, send it to me, I'll play it, type of thing. So this could really have major implications, obviously. And the major labels, they're going to be, of course, they're now protecting the artists, and that's why they're fighting and getting those fake Drake songs down and everything. But once the labels, let's be frank, I mean, if they know how to figure out AI music, which is good and that people actually listen to, then they will be like, okay, screw the artists. We're just going to invest in it. They just do whatever makes money and whatever.
Or the estate of Michael Jackson will just release new Michael Jackson songs.
Yeah, exactly. And basically,
or the estate of Prince
start to create their own. Yeah, exactly. So everyone's going to start making their own AI music, all these platforms. And then imagine the platforms, they're like, why don't we... so if the labels say we don't need artists anymore, then they're going to be like, hey, we create our own. But then the distributors like Spotify, they'll be like, why do we need labels and pay them 70% of the we're the platform? Then they're going to develop their own AI and music and then just feed their platform. That's what I mean, this is it's almost like... it's almost too much to think about. He just pinpointed.
It's like World War.
If you think about it,
it's like this is going to attack. It's like a cascading of events. This is the killing of Archduke Ferdinand.
Yeah. So basically, he said like at some point, like, why wouldn't Spotify really make their own AIs? Because if they are, everyone's trying to protect the artists right now, but no one's protecting anything. Really. That's his predictions, right? He's like, everyone's really in it for the money, and as soon as people listen to AI music and are okay with it, everyone's gonna fight for the best AI music. And then it's going to be like super fragmented, he said, like basically like in the streaming world right now. You have HBO, you have Hulu, you have Amazon, you have Paramount, you have Disney, you have Netflix. These are all basically different algorithms, different AIs that are going to compete for mind space. So it's not that far off, I think. Like it could really happen.
Yeah, it could happen. I wonder how it's all going to play out, though, because you have all these... Like, there's going to be some ownership stuff with, like, who feeds the AI. With contracts, they might be like, hey, okay, here's your 7-album deal, and we get to release 7 AI albums after you're dead. Like, they're going to put that into the contracts. They'll try.
Or they're going to hire, like, real musicians or people, and then, like TV, like production companies do right now, film production company, they feed their own AI with their own material, so there's no copyright issue. Let's say you get the 20 best producers and you say, okay, give me all your best beats, all your best song lyrics, everything, and we own this stuff. It's like buying a catalog, and then basically we feed our own AI with this music and then tell the AI to do similar stuff, but based on this great music that it was fed with.
But how will you, like, who can dive into these AIs and be like, you put this in the cake. Oh no.
I know, like, yeah. Yeah, I
Marvin
guess it's
going to be like who's gonna stop this?
Yeah, it's like a content ID thing, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be a big mess, obviously, because people are going to sue people, and then it's the old school suing will be so far behind technology.
We'll have AI lawyers that will do auto sue.
Exactly. Yeah, and now the best part is like, so Spotify apparently they busted a company now, like because Universal tipped them off. This was the other big headline news. Basically, it's robots listening to robot music. So that's the headline. Spotify, they found a network of bots listening to music that was created by bots, by AI.
Why?
Because like if I have an AI company, I have basically, then I create this music, I put it up there, and then I basically hire companies or bots to pay to listen to it, and then I just extract the money every month because
it's a money making machine.
Still gets it. Yeah, it's like laundering money. Literally. in a way.
Well, it's not laundering money.
I guess if you ever,
it's generating.
There is
probably breaking the platform rules, right?
Of course, that's why they're taken down. But also, people use it. I mean, that's the dirty secret. People were found out, like criminal people. They were laundering money through Spotify, through the streaming, because then they invest like in promo.
Yeah, they buy the robot.
You create, they buy the robot. They basically tell a promotion company, streaming promotion, they give you 3,000 to get 1 million streams, and then from 1 million streams they get out clean money, 3,500. They even make a little profit, and that money is basically laundered. And
so we're back to the 80s again. It's just the mafia laundering money through plays.
through a different place. Yeah, it's crazy.
You can't escape it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you think about that, that's
read that book really, Hitman if you want to learn about the payola in the 80s. It's a great book.
Yeah. And so payola, for people who don't know, is basically people were like paying because people like hired promotion companies, so to say, and they would promote the record and go to radio and basically give them the vinyl with a bunch of money too.
A bribe to play.
It's a bribe to play the money to a song, and then if the song was actually good, the song kept getting spins and actually became a hit.
Yeah.
So it helped a few songs, but it also, of course, some of the songs were not good. They were still played on radio because they had a promotion budget behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why the mafia got into music publishing, because music publishing generates money. If you put, if your song is on the radio, you get a fee,
It's kind of like perfect because the bribe is not traceable, kind of. So you're just like throwing
cash,
away cash, and then you're exporting like taxable cash.
Yeah, you get clean money back from the government, in so to say, almost, because they from the performance
performance royalties,
performance
BMI
royalties
and ASCAP.
from the ASCAPs, BMI and ASCAP. It's pretty crazy.
Better have my ass capped or get your ass capped. Who was that?
Who said that? I don't know, probably Jay-Z or someone.
I don't know. Pharoah Monch, I think.
So, and then someone is
Matt Skills.
Bring it even.
It was Matt Skills.
Matt Skills. Okay, that's really 90s, right? So, anyways, and then someone else said something even more like AI, like next level conspiracy. So he says there's a bigger picture to all this. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? So he's basically saying, all these things, all these companies, all the government, whatever, are scaring the public with AI now. Why? Because they're just saying like, hey, AI, it can all be what's real, what's fake. You don't know anymore, the pictures, the videos, everything. And that's why the only solution, that's the next step, according to this guy, is like they're going to go with the digital ID. So basically it's really becomes the Matrix. And so basically every person will be like, hey, I'm so scared that I can't prove that who I am. So basically I'm going to have like a digital government ID with like a fingerprint, iris print and all that stuff.
They already have that,
so you're fully controlling. They already have that, but it's going to be even more milked into the system. So basically everywhere you go, you have to sort of prove you are you, and you're going to leave little fingerprints, eye scans, and all that stuff everywhere. So you're fully controllable. Every purchase you do, everything. And like especially Germans, they're all about their privacy. They want to have cash. Here still a lot of clubs only have cash, and it's because they don't want to be traced.
Let's move to Germany. Yeah. How about I come to you? You fight all this time to come here. I'll just come to you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The weather's kind of like, I'd rather be in California with.
I don't like the weather. Give me some rain, some clouds.
Yeah, because you still have allergies going, right?
You still hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, but think about it. It's a weird conspiracy theory, but it could. There's some truth to it. I feel
Well, I
because
mean,
like it
we'll
makes
probably get chipped one day. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm chipped. It's just
it's for your
easier.
own good, for your own
Yeah,
safety.
never forget my
And then you can
keys or
prove
my
it.
wallet now."
Exactly. Yeah.
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 They'll be
So
like,
convenience against freedom, of course. Again, personal freedom, I guess. And
"Yeah,
I could be one tool to scare everyone to be like, hey, we need to have the digital thing be
I don't know," but it's
everywhere.
kind of like, did you see that video of like the robot dogs all like getting ready in
I know.
in
Yeah.
unison?
Scary shit.
It was
Yeah.
freaky.
It's freaky. Yeah.
All
Because
they need is like razor
these machines.
claws, and they'll just take over the world. Just you want to fight a
Yeah.
war with a bunch of robot dogs?
Yeah. And robot machines, robots in general, like they just have way more human strength, and they just have no soul, no heart, and they just execute. Yeah.
It's like Iron
it's
Man.
like a bad movie.
It's
No, it's like Terminator. It's basically
Terminator.
Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah, it's happening. But they don't have. Then they'll invent time travel, and then we'll go back in time, and then there'll be T-1000, Schwarzenegger,
And have you
more German?
Yeah, again,
Austrian, but who's counting?
And then basically another thing is like you probably knew this because I hardly use iMessage, as you know, because it's all on WhatsApp in Germany. So, but one manager I talked to, he only uses text messages, like a German guy actually. So he recorded like a voicemail, and I listened to it, and he's like, to send me this. He probably like some like half secret stuff, like because I asked him about like his big artist, blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool. Then like 2 minutes later, I wanted to check again, and the message disappeared. I'm like, what? Hey, where is it? And then I realized if you record a voice message on text, you need to like, if you listen to it or if you send it, you have to press this little thing down there in the corner says keep. Otherwise, it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool because you can say all kinds of bullshit, all that stuff, and then basically, it's gone. It's like a James Bond type of
but
thing,
unless you say keep, right? You have the ability to keep it.
I don't know. I think he has to predetermine first if the person is allowed to keep it. So it's almost like it's like a science fiction. It's like a self-disappearing or self-destroying message, like in those science fiction movies back then, like you would hear a message and it would destroy itself because
this message will self-destruct. It should play the Mission Impossible.
Exactly, that would
That'd
be funny.
sick.
And then just destroy itself. Like I just read up a little bit on this book. You know this book Superfans by Pat Flynn? Yeah, so it's just for people. I mean, it's a simple concept. It's four steps that you basically do. First, you have like a casual audience, and then you try to convert them into an active audience. They're more interested. Then it turns out the ones that sort of get funneled in there, like you try to build a community around the active audience, and then from the community you'll find the superfans. And the superfans are the ones that go down with you to the very end.
Down with the Titanic.
Down with the Titanic. They cry if you don't put out new music. They buy everything first. They buy the super experience. And this is really what you want. And you can technically, so anything you do, if it's good and interesting, it creates value.
We need some
find
super
your superfans. Exactly. We need superfans too, but we need like but it's still the same way. You need to find them through casual audiences, through all the social media stuff. And then the key is to convert them. And then also add value and give something to them so they feel like, okay, I want to I want to go with you to conversion.
Yeah, I'm interested in hanging out and being a part of it and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then in the best case scenario, the community then promotes you for free and almost like because they have all the tools, they know what they like, and they tell everyone about it.
Yeah, you've really made it when on social media, like you're not even like other people are posting you.
Yeah. Or like you made it when like a troll comes by and tries to mess with you, and then your whole like this Taylor Swift army or whatever, they just rip you apart. They just cancel you.
Swifties?
Then you made it big. Yeah, because then you have so many fans that if someone wants to troll you, they're screwed because they have like millions against them all of a sudden. And
what are the ones? There's the Beehive for Beyonce. There's the
know.
Swifties.
There used to be the little monsters from Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
remember?
I think she was the OG.
She called
Little Monsters.
She called them monsters or something.
Yeah,
because she was all about the monsters and stuff. Yeah. So, and then another thing is like we went out on, when was that, on Friday, and we bumped into this one, me and Marcus. We bumped into this one girl, and she's like I think she used to be like a model and pretty girl. Like she used to date like a friend of ours. Like he was a party promoter and the restaurant owner. So like she was always like the nice little girlfriend, but nothing like no one really took her serious because she was almost too pretty, like turns out now, and that she's now like I don't know what's the English word. I guess like it's like a football player, but they call it like almost like a manager, consultant, advisor. Like
for
in Germany, it's for football, Spielerberater. Right? And then I'm like, okay, that's interesting because I'm not following football. I know there's a big business obviously there.
Yeah.
But then a friend of mine is like, you know what? And he's like, yeah, but who does she advise? And I'm like, I don't know. I forgot. I literally now forgot the name again. But some big German soccer player, a football player, to be fair.
Schweinsteiger?
And then I'm like, no, not trying. Like, I forgot his name. Anyways, and then no, you don't know any of these names. Like the new guy, like I think it's Bavaria. He plays, but he makes like 30 million a year.
Okay.
I'm like, or transfer. I'm like, okay, wow. And then I just looked it up, and they make between 8 to 15% of the year. The Beraters, the consultant. So she's making more bank than all of us together. Like at the table, we think we're so cool. Like we're music producers, and he's like a Universal guy, and the other guy's like a film director. Yeah. She's just like this girl who makes it just like every year just kills us all. Like,
she owns everything. The restaurant you're sitting in.
I know, exactly. Like, she probably owns a restaurant we were sitting. I was like, wow, that's respect. And she said she's one of the only female ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she uses her beauty and everything to advantage because everyone just like, wow, they underestimate her, obviously. And to be fair, like I didn't think like she's gonna go that career because I'm sure it's a Shark Tank and you really have to stand your ground in this. Like it's like everyone's trying to get a piece of these superstar football players.
There's a lot of great women managers.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really good.
Yeah,
I know a lot of them too. But it was so funny because we were so like, what does this little girl
you guys
do?
were judging.
No.
You were not.
We were judging.
Yeah,
exactly,
you guys were. It was the 1980s at your table, and she's like,
and she makes like 5 million.
She's like, the check comes. She's like, I got this. You broke musicians and your stupid streaming for 0.00000015 cents.
Yeah, because it's such a big business. It's crazy. Like these numbers are unreal. And this is just he's, I think, a famous, but I mean, the numbers go really high up if you're talking to superstars, obviously.
That's what sucks about music and comedy. It's also like, it's like this great thing and you get all this awareness and like everyone wants to do it. And then there's just like someone else over here being like, I just own everything.
Does one deal.
Yeah, I do one deal.
Know, like,
and it's your whole life.
I know, it's crazy.
So stupid.
And she was just casually. And then I read up one because it was interesting. I forgot the name of the guy now. There's one that, like the top advisor. He did like deals, like he did football player deals last year alone worth 1.5 billion.
Oh my God.
So he makes 150, 200 million just by consulting football players. That's
like,
crazy.
Hey, you're like, but not like you're kicking the ball wrong. Like, hey, let's get you a brand deal.
No. It's like, yeah. Let's get you a brand deal. Or not even a brand deal. This is more like, let's transfer you to this team. I'm checking with this, and they're interested in you. It's like just brokering.
Like an agent, like a sports agent,
like an agent, like a sports agent. But in Germany they say Berater, which means more advisor. But it's in essence it's an agent.
Yeah. There's a whole show, Ballers, about it.
Yeah,
remember on HBO with The Rock?
I'm sure like
someone else.
Yeah, I'm sure that the NFL is the same thing. Like I don't know how much.
Yeah, that show's about the NFL.
The biggest NFL player. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so the NFL is probably the same thing, and it's crazy. Like and you don't need any license to do it really. Like you just need to have good relations.
No
and
license
be a
in Germany.
And I guess you need a license,
You
but
must.
I mean, I don't think it's not going to be complicated. Like to be an agent. Like
there's like a 10 question.
Anyone can be an agent.
Yeah, you're like, hey, what's
If they have the right talent and everyone's after the talent, everyone can be an agent.
you're like, how
It's
many
not
players
rocket
are on the
science, yeah.
team? What position does the goalie
And then
play? All right, you're in.
and then the funny thing is the agent doesn't even get paid from this player. So normally the agent gets paid from the team. So let's say like one team wants to have this player, and then the agent goes like, yeah, we're talking to different teams, but I can make it maybe happen to go to you. So let's say he negotiates a $10 million deal. His fee will then go on top. So it doesn't come out of the player's fee. It comes out of the team's fee that sort of hired him.
Oh, so it's like when you find an apartment.
It's like additional fee. Yeah, I guess.
In New York,
yeah.
it's like 1 month's rent goes right to the broker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like when you,
but from the landlord, not from the tenant.
Well, so it'd be more like a company that uses like a hiring service, like 1 month's salary from the company has to pay the hiring service. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's wow. Crazy. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so maybe we should all become. Yeah, she's killing it. So I was like,
sports agents.
It just blew my mind. Yeah, this just blew my mind a little bit. I was like, okay, here we are.
We do need our side thing, like if it's going to be some sort of alcohol or something that we're slanging that really brings in the coin,
the real dough, the coins.
Yeah, there's like levels. It's like the audience, and then what you layer on top of that audience is like the real.
Yeah,
that's the frosting of the cake.
No, it's just like it depends really on the business. I just realized because football wasn't that like this for 20 years or 30 years ago. It just became that because it's such a worldwide #1 national sport, and all the big brand sponsors. It draws in all the millions of people every week, and it just became this big thing. And because
sports
it has
in general,
eyeballs.
because like people like are sick of like scripted shows where it's like all fake. Sports is like the last real thing, and it's a meritocracy.
As real as it gets.
It's like the last thing where it's like only
it's
not based on anything other than you being the best player.
Yeah, it's like basically it's a little bit the American dream in essence again. Like
German
you can
dream.
really be. Or like a German, but in sports is really like an all-American. Like you can be from nowhere with no like rich parents or no real education. If you're really good at sports, at shooting hoops or basketball, like football or NFL or soccer, or whatever, like you can really go from the street to.
It'll change like it'll be like monumental change. Not like not like going to university change where it's like you have a good job and whatever, but like.
Exactly.
It's the last thing where it's like the lottery ticket.
And it's super high risk, obviously, because once you it's your body. Like if you have an injury, you're out, you're done. Like no one cares about you. Like,
you're disposable. Yeah? You're just meat.
Yeah, so I mean, The Rock's career was like this. He wanted to be in NFL, and right before that, he couldn't make it. Like one person was in front of him, and then that sort of messed up his whole trajectory. Obviously, now he became The Rock after that, but that's why he founded another league or something. I read up or something.
Yeah, he's got the XFL. Yeah, it's like
exactly.
Arena
but this was really like his. Yeah, this was really his big thing that he wasn't drafted. Like he was the last one that didn't get drafted, and it was like it was life altering in a bad way. Like he was still trying to cope with it. I mean, I'm sure like he did okay now, but I'm just saying like this can change so quickly.
He's probably better off. He's a wrestler now, and an actor. I think he's the highest paid actor of all time. Like
he's an influencer now. Whatever, billions of followers or whatever.
Yeah. He's got a tequila brand, some other stuff, right?
And it's funny because like who would have thought like, but I mean he's obviously very likable. He's funny. He also doesn't take him too serious. He's still self-ironic. I feel.
Yeah. And I think he is actually good at what he does. So that helps.
Yeah, and he's also good at what he does. Yeah. I mean, he's probably not a Robert De Niro actor, but he for family entertainment he's good.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to like for him to. Because of his size, probably to be different roles, but I think the roles he's got a lot of good family movies, and they throw him in a lot of franchises. He's like, now you're in Fast and the Furious. Now you're in the he kind of like dips in and out of all this stuff. And
did you see? By the way, talking about movies, did you see Air?
No, it's on my list. Was it good?
I just saw it 2 days ago. It's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, in essence. It's about a business deal, and it's the story. It's produced really. There's no big explosions or anything. It's really, but it's done, and you know the outcome already in a way. You know that's Michael
Like
Jordan
Titanic.
signed with Nike, and yeah, but it's still like the way they did it and the acting. It's really top-notch actors. Viola Davis, obviously Matt Damon, and all these people. Yeah, and in a way, I was started it watching it during like eating something. I was like, I'm just gonna skip into it, see if it's worth it, and I got stuck. And I watched it to the very end. It was like 2 a.m. all of a sudden. Yeah. So it was good. I thought like, but maybe I don't watch a lot of movies, so that's why I think any movie, I guess, would
any movie
capture
to
me.
you is good.
But this was, yeah, I guess, yeah. But it was but it hooked me. Like it was almost 2 hours, and it was actually, if you think about it in retrospect, it was just about a stupid business deal. But the way the tactics were, the way the spirit was happening, the way the American in the 80s, the whole look and the soundtrack, everything sort of felt cool.
Ben Affleck's
vibey,
weird wig.
Yeah.
Did you read the book,
Ben
Shoe
Affleck's
Dog?
actually a good director. No.
The book Shoe Dog it's about the Phil Knight and Nike. It's like probably one of the best books I've read of the last 10 years, like business books.
He's definitely a crazy character.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the lessons? He took a lot of risk, right? Or he just trusted. What are some learnings about the Shoe Dog?
I mean, he took a lot of risks. Like it's just about like, trying to get the Nike. Like Nike was a joke,
I know that's what no one knew. Like the film educated me. Like it was just a running shoe company. No one took it seriously. It was the uncoolest thing ever.
Yeah,
and everyone wanted Adidas because of Run DMC in the '80s with My Adidas. And then obviously Converse was the basketball shoe. Yeah. And then at some point Nike bought Converse, as we know.
As the final, it's like it's like when McDonald's went back and bought the original McDonald's just to run them out of business or whatever. It's just like the last.
Yeah. That was crazy, like because Converse was so big, Converse All Stars, and so it's inspiring from a business point of view. Definitely the movie, but it's also like it's fun. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think you'll like it. Watch it till next time. Tell me what you think.
That's like it's just disruption. Look at Tesla. Like they're like, oh, it was kind of a joke, like whatever, like no one cares, and now it's like bigger. It's like the number 1 car in California is the Model Y, and the number 2 is the Model 3.
Yeah,
and that it's almost silly now. It's like every car on the road is a Tesla.
I drove a Tesla here in Berlin the other day because they have a rental cars, like the miles rental ones that you can get for like 90 cents a minute or something, and they have a Tesla Y now, so it's fun to drive around the city with it.
Yeah, and it's like they cut the prices, so now they're not even like that much more. Like. It's like the same price as like another car.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then basically, did you see Elon Musk partying it up?
No.
He was at the Rufus Festival. He was in Mexico at Cabo with like a lot of mates of mine, like at the Sundream Festival, like just popped up and just partied. And I think he had a meeting today or the next day in Italy somewhere, or France. And he just whatever, like he was literally partying 5 hours before he had a meeting with some chancellor somewhere in France or whatever.
Wow,
like
he is
in
Iron
Mexico.
Man.
It's crazy. Yeah, he's Iron Man, and he's dancing around, and he's taking a full tequila bottle, and it's just like there's funny memes and videos on Instagram with it from the music festival.
But you know what? He's like
really cool. He likes electronic music. He likes techno. Apparently,
we're talking about if you're talking about I have an audience and I layer brands on top of it. Elon Musk is the ultimate version of that. Tesla does no advertising.
I know, it's crazy.
And it's just him. He's like an influencer running a $1 trillion worth of companies. Like, and
I mean, the first guy to do it's Richard Branson. I think he's the first model to do this with Virgin, and he was the brand, and he took the risk. He did the stunts. He went on a hot balloon. He jumped out of so I think. He almost, and he's also South African, I think, Richard Branson.
Oh, these South Africans.
I think Elon Musk, I think Elon Musk modeled it fairly, like his
after
business a little bit like after Richard Branson.
Did he ever say that?
I think he's the OG, Richard. Probably, like, I don't know it publicly, but I think he definitely has some praises for Richard Branson. And Richard Branson also, he invented that personal brand and building $1 billion company around
the brand.
In a way. Yeah, around the personal brand,
but like
of the founder,
right? I guess and he did it when
crazy.
Music was still like a huge business. like Virgin
exactly. Yeah, he
Megastore,
sold it for. Yeah, he
Virgin
sold it for 5 billion.
Airlines, Virgin.
All that stuff.
I had a Virgin
and he was
mobile
also
telephone.
going this. Yeah, and then also like the Virgin Airlines exactly. And I think didn't he also want to go to space? I don't know.
I think he didn't quite make it. The company folded, but
yeah,
it's kind of like
but he had the same visions.
when you see these companies, you
This
see like
guy's
an old
old
school
now.
GM, like, and you're like, here's the ad for the new Cadillac. You're like, I just don't care, and it's all like trying to be cool, and you're just like, is the car good? I don't know, like. Some ad gonna tell like the Cadillac lyric. You're like, okay.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle thing. It's the product is good, but also the surrounding, everything around it is cool. Yeah, and of course, I'm sure like a lot of people hate on Elon Musk, obviously,
and Steve Jobs with the iPhone. He's like a mix of Steve Jobs and Richard Branson.
Exactly,
because Apple was so big, it was almost like Apple and Steve Jobs were like two parts of the thing, but like.
Yeah,
well, I guess
two sides of one coin. I guess.
Yeah, I guess Elon Musk is like that with Tesla, and maybe if Steve Jobs was
but
still alive.
What happened if Elon? Yeah, but if Elon Musk disappeared tomorrow, whatever, I think Tesla would take a big hit because he's the brand too.
Yeah, I think it would. I think he was supposed to retire from Tesla at one point, but then didn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's like
he
the
found
product
someone for
guy.
Twitter
like,
now.
Now he's got his he's turning Twitter. I think this Twitter thing can work out. Like he's turning it into like the everything app. He's changing it. Twitter is going to be called X, the everything app. Did you hear about this? Yeah.
No, what?
So it's not going to be called Twitter. It's going to be called X, the everything app. But it's going to be like those like WeChat apps in China where you can do everything. You can shop. You can do this. So he's totally changing it.
Yeah, and a lot of controversial people are going there, posting stuff, and they have a following. And it's almost like even if you're extreme left wing, you sort of have to watch what's going on Twitter to know your enemy type of thing. And if you're right, like he's open it up for everyone type of thing.
What do you think about this paying for verification on Twitter?
I don't know. I think it worked out a little bit, right? But only a little bit. I think this is just a stunt, like a publicity stunt almost. I don't think that's a business model, obviously.
No, I mean, why not? There's like 1 million people, or how many people are on Twitter? 100 million, and then like 10 million pay you
used to be
$8 a month.
Like, yeah, I guess.
But I think that's the thing. Now that the power's in the creators, they can't rely on eyeballs. They have to have a real business now.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and also if you want to own your brand, you might as well pay that money. It's like paying for your website to own your brand.
I don't understand why people are so like, oh my god, $8. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand.
I think we pay $8 for just having the link tree, which is basically the website for Joplin right now. And
Oh, that's what I want to talk about.
It's the quickest.
Beacons.ai. Have you seen this?
No, what's that?
It's like Linktree times 1,000.
What's it called?
Beacons.ai. I just switched from Linktree to it, and we should for our podcast too. It's really? So good. Yeah. Check
Beacons.
Go to my thing. Go to at Latif Tayor on Instagram and click on my beacons.
Beacons.ai.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's like
see if it's
analytics mixed with Linktree mixed with a mailing list.
Is it for free?
Yeah, free.
What? Crazy. Because a Linktree, like if you want analytics and everything, you have to pay. And if you want to
There's some things you have to pay. You can pay a beacon, but
because they need to
none
make
of
money,
the stuff
obviously.
I need is on for pay right now. But
okay.
It's great.
Okay, so one more Germenglish here for the end.
Yeah.
So in Germany, if something really has to happen, right, and it's really important, but even if you don't want to do it, you say like you're reluctant to do it, you know?
Yeah.
You say in German, you say "Was muss, das muss."
Was muss,
and
das
the
muss.
And the literal translation would be "What must, that must."
What must, that must. Like that's like what's that English saying? I forgot. Damn
Comme
it.
ci, comme ça. No,
comme ci, comme ça. That'd be like, the French one.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, basically. Yeah, that's basically, in a way, what it.
What was it in German?
Was muss, das muss. Was muss, das muss. Was muss,
was muss,
das muss.
Das muss.
Das muss.
Like das Boot.
So it rhymes. Yeah. So what must, that must.
Well, we have the German. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Was muss, das muss. And it's a little different. What it is. That's in German. There's a German saying. It says the same. Es ist was es ist. Es ist wie es ist. It would be it is what it is.
Is that a saying?
Yeah, that's a saying.
Okay.
So it's a little. That's actually a correct translation. But what must that must would be a different. It's Germenglish translation.
Is it kind of like resigning? Like, oh, we lost the war. Was muss, das muss.
No, it's more like we still got to keep fighting. Even though we know we lost it, was muss, das muss.
So it's like it's encouraging. It's not.
It's almost like
it's not resigning,
but it's like no. It's more like, but it's like you do it reluctantly because it kind of sucks everything. But you say like, okay, still got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
It's like going to work in the morning.
Exactly. Was muss, das muss.
Yeah. Hey, where are you going? I got to go to work. Was muss, das muss.
It's like our podcast, was muss, das muss.
Yeah, like today. It's like, you want to do it 9? I don't know. Yeah.
Was muss, das muss. Yeah. What must, that must.
It's like the 5-second rule. It's like, just do it. Make the decision. Like, that's the
I know.
When you texted me, I was like, or texted me back, I was like, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done.
No, it was good. It's always fun. We caught up again.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
Well, we did it.
And I also feel like sometimes we need to, if it's a little long, it's fine. It's a little short, it's fine. Like it just has to be in the flow. And
around an hour is good.
We sort of
maybe we should put the Germenglish at the front because it's our most popular segment.
Yeah. Could be. Or people have to wait all the way to the end.
Like a Drake verse?
We can try it.
It's like if you put Drake first and French Montana last, you'll never get to it.
I know. It's like you never get to it. Yeah. I guess we can try it next time to put the Germenglish first. Because for me, it's like I always look at it, the last thing that I do. That's why it's on my list. It's on the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways.
Let's try it first next week. Good app.
Okay, cool.
Follow Latif Tayor at Cheeton Berlin and
yes.
At Techno Hollywood Pod. Hopefully you're liking my new graphic skills. And we'll see you next week.
They look great.
Cheers.
Cool. Techno.
Cheers.